almost time up, so we do have a vote of thanks given by our, just try and find him on there, yeah, by our founder, co-founder, Afzal Khan MP, who founded the Muslim Jewish Forum 16.5 years ago now. And his career, I can't go through it all, but I'll say he's been a mill worker, a bus driver, a police constable, a solicitor, a councillor, Lord Mayor, MEP, and now MP for Gorton. So you wouldn't think in his lifetime he could fit in that many jobs, but he has done. And he still manages to come to every single Muslim Jewish Forum event. So without further ado, over to you, Afzal.
Thank you very much, Heather. As always, you are kind and generous with the introduction. Can I say how amazing it has been? Like you said, this is the 136th event that the Muslim Jewish Forum has held, and I think almost all of them I've also attended. And this has been probably the most fascinating event I think I have attended. I felt that I've learned so much about languages. It's something which I do have an interest, but I think the excellent speakers that we have pulled together. So let me start by saying first a huge big thank you to our speakers, Professor Yaron, Tara, Tommy, Sophia, and Alex. I also felt that each one of them actually added things in, so hence the richness of what we've all learned. And I just wanted to make a couple of points actually, because I also have fascinating in the language ideas. The first one was your question of accent. I mean, I'm not an expert like Professor Yaron, but from my own experience, I do still hold a sort of a Pakistani slight accent. And my wife actually has no accent whatsoever. And the period we have both been in the UK, and the education and all that is more or less in para. And I always thought maybe the reasoning is that I did started my English language in Pakistan, and therefore maybe because of my base was set in that sort of accent, it was more difficult for me, whereas Shakila, my wife, she did not have any of that base. Her base was started in Britain, and maybe that's why, I don't know. But I thought it's my own very personal experience. I share that with you. The second thing I thought was really fascinating, which I always find fascinating around this, is this language and the mind, and how the language and the mind sort of plays together when we're using it. You know, when we speak with another person. So myself, you know, I speak a number of languages. So if I speak with someone who just speaks English, then I will never switch that language. My mind automatically picks that up and uses this. And at the same time, I'm speaking with another person who has the capacity to have different languages. And then interestingly, my mind mixes the language up and picks different words and fixes a sentence together. I feel that is quite interesting. I mean, Professor talked about selection and inhibition. And then I think Tara touched on this a little bit as well, in the sense, you know, the thinking idea, how do you think, and the dream idea, and how does that shift? I mean, it happened with me. Originally, I used to do that thinking in Urdu, and then over the years, it shifted then now into English. So it's quite, I think, interesting, that journey of the mind itself, how it handles this. The other point I thought was the interaction which actually takes place between languages. So it's not sort of a solid idea, but languages interact also with one another. And then certain words and things are adopted. That I think is also fascinating, how those adoption actually takes place in languages as well. And then those difficulties, a number of the speakers really talked about when you have one base of the language, how certain letters are missing and how the sounds and pronunciations and then how they mix up. I think it's all really so fascinating. So thank you very much to all our speakers for bringing together this whole richness in languages. And I want to take this opportunity also to thank Professor Yaron for the amazing work. I've known him for a number of years, a number of things we've done together as well. I know how passionate he is about languages. And I think ultimately languages are so powerful, not only about the identity of our individuals and the richness that we have in Manchester, but also looking ahead, how we are connected to the world. In a sense, it's a very powerful tool for our own prosperity and connectivity to the world. So the work he does, I think, is really great for our city. So thank you to Professor as well. And finally, a big thank you to all our guests who have joined us today. As said, you know, it's the biggest number we've had. Great stuff. So let's keep this good work up and let's support the languages wherever we can. Thank you very much.